Hi everyone, it's Crafty Kathy here, and I'm welcoming you to Scrap Squad Sunday. And I'm doing this page on Scrap Squad Saturday, which is actually day 12 of their 12 days of springtime scrap lifts. And it happens to be my granddaughter Katie's birthday today. So I love it when they do the April 1st through the 12th because it ends on Katie's birthday, and I can do a birthday page for Katie. And in December they do the Christmas scrap lifts from December 1st to the 12th, and it ends on my birthday, so I can do a John and me kind of a birthday sort of page. Anyway, this is the gorgeous original by Julie Taylor, and it's absolutely amazing in its pastelness, and I love that about it. But I'm going to do a KatieBug page, which means I'm going to pull out my Little Ladybug collection, and it has everything in it but pastels. Maybe there might be a pastel kind of background paper, but anyway, it's going to be different colors. I'm going to do, I've torn some strips, and I don't know if they'll be arranged exactly like these, but I've got a large cluster and a smaller cluster. I've got an acrylic title, and for the butterflies, I'm going to do one here and one here. I'm going to stencil those on with some layering stencils, and I haven't ever used the layering stencils before, so I'm kind of curious as to what those are going to look like. So we'll see. And as always, if I'm unhappy with what ends up on the paper, I can always go do my stenciling on another piece of paper till I get it right, and then fussy cut around it and come slap it right on top of the ugly one. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. That's your tip of the day. Scrappy Kathy's tip of the day. Should I have a tip of the day? I'm better at telling you and demonstrating for you what not to do, because I like to take a fresh approach to things occasionally, and I've been known to try many things that didn't work out. Okay, so let me show you what I'm working with. I've kind of torn some pieces of paper and pulled some bits of ephemera, and this is the collection, Little Ladybug, designed by Lori Whitlock for Echo Park. And of course it has all those colors, but there's some occasional greens, and there's actually a yellow. There was a yellow in there, and I'm going to really kind of capitalize on the yellow because my title's yellow. Okay, so I'm going to put this down on the floor where I can keep it handy. I'm kind of going to look at this, but at some point it is what it is. I don't have all those shapes and icons there, but let's just start putting things down. And I'm going to kind of adhere things fairly carefully. I'm just gonna slap it down, and I can lift this bit up, as we go along. Okay, this is meant to go on top of this, kind of like so. The photo's going to go over here, and it's going to be this photo. So do I want it? And I need to know where I'm going to place it, because that's going to determine where I put the yellow piece, which I would like ideally to show on both sides. So let me see if I can do something like that, and then do this, and then I can do some kind of embellishing over here, but this still leaves me room for my title. And I love when this is Katie. This actually may be closer to her first birthday. It was in taken in 2003, and I had found this gigantic ladybug in the gift shop at my office building. I parked my car in the office garage and walked down the tunnel to get to the office elevators. And on the way, there was kind of a canteen, a sort of gift shop, a place to grab a quick breakfast sort of thing, sort of place. I saw that, and John and I worked at the same place, so we were walking in together and saw that. We bought it, and of course at lunch, we took it to a pack and mail place. Had them send it for us. I was so excited when they had those portraits taken and sent us some. That was probably some of my favorite pictures of any of the kids. And of course I had to use them. In fact, when I bought this collection, I believe I bought this collection as opposed to it was sent as a gift. If you send it to me as a gift and I have forgotten that, I apologize. But I really think it was a different collection that I'm thinking about. Okay, so I'm gonna kind of do that, and then maybe I can do something with this on either side of that. Maybe either like this and this, or the other way. I'm thinking I kind of like that, and then maybe have a I know what I'm gonna do. I'll put that there, and I'm gonna use this up top. Let me just start gluing things down. But I'm designing in my head, and that's the only thing that's glued down. So I'm gonna put this down, and I'm gonna insert the yellow. I'm gonna put it. I believe I liked it. Let me actually bring that down some. Is that to get it parallel there, and then this I can slide in. There. What I don't like about this is that you're not seeing that, but I don't want to give up black, so let me make sure that's what I want. I'm picking knits here. I think I'm going to go ahead and raise it up higher than the line of this, because if I can, I would like to disguise the fact that that's a line. I'm going to put that right there so that I remember to leave room for it. I will put it down there now, and just putting a little bit of this. And I apologize for kind of being a little bit absent lately. I've kind of been struggling with some changes that needed to be made, and it's involved a whole lot of time and effort, and it hasn't been a pleasant task, so I've been in a foul mood, I guess is the best way to say it. I'm going to kind of put that right there. And now I'm going to partially build this bottom cluster as well. I'm not sure, let's see. Is that going to go there? That is not going to go there like that. What? I think that's good. Okay, and then I've got some of these bits that go up here, and I think maybe this one. Okay, so now let's start with, this is going to be the top one, whereas it's the bottom one there. It's going to be the top one here. So I need to kind of figure out where the other ones are going to go. I'm just going to do this and bring it all the way over to the side. And I'm going to, this is the photo that's going to go there. So I want all three of the colors to show. So I'm going to do that one maybe right there, and I'll do something here that, like maybe that. Oh, that's cute. That would be cute there. And so now I need this yellow right about there. I'm thinking that works. Let's kind of get some of that glued down. And then I've got more of these little bannery things. Okay, let me get this here and this there, and hopefully I haven't pushed that too far in. I'll raise that up there too. There. Okay, and then I'm going to kind of put that right there, and I'll put some foam behind it. Is that what I want? Or is, if there is a white based tag, that might show up better there. Let's see. I'm so lucky to have you. I'm not necessarily wanting words there so much as I'm wanting to cover up this abrupt end and just kind of provide kind of make this cluster a little different from that cluster is what I'm trying to say. Okay, so let's just kind of go for it. I think I'd rather have the tag underneath the photo, but it might show up more. You'd see the tag sooner if I put it on top of the photo. So let's do that. Let's assume that's what I'm going for. Now, before I go too much farther in the embellishing direction, I'm going to try one of those butterflies. So let's push that off there. I'm going to do the one here because it's kind of handy. And these are, this stencil is from BrambleFox, and it came in a Foxbox Plus maybe last month. And there are backgrounds, 3 backgrounds. The large butterfly, the small butterfly, and the sideways butterfly. And then there are 3 toppings, toppers. So I'm going to take the small solid butterfly and I'm going to do that yellow. And this is Distress Oxide ink. I'm doing yellow background and then I'm going to stencil over it with black. And since I'm using Distress Oxide, I could technically have done it the other way around. Would have, of course, been a different effect, but I think the yellow would still show up on a black background. So I'm placing this other stencil over the top, and now I'm going to bring out my black soot Distress Oxide, and I'm just going to kind of pounce it in. Hoping that I'm getting a nice look between the black and the yellow. So here's my reveal. Ooh, there we are. I like that. That's nice. And what I think I'm going to do is the sideways one up here, and I'm going to do it pointing this way. And I'm going to have it right here. And I'm going to do the exact same colors. I'm going to kind of do that. And then this is quick and easy and fun, and there are all kinds of ways you can play with this, all different kinds of mediums that you can use to get different effects. Okay, how cool is that? Now, let's now go to the sticker sheet and try to start the embellishing of the clusters. Let me kind of get these inks out of the way. Okay, so what I've got here is, in the original there are some banners kind of extending below the photo, and they're different lengths and different patterns and so forth. So I'm going to kind of mix up some of the stuff I have going on here. I have cut these from ephemera. I cut this little circly bit in half, and I cut this frame in half. So I can use this part of the frame right there, for example. And so I will do that. Come on. The title and the sunshine and are from the same Fox box that just came out in April. And the stencil is BrambleFox as well. This ladybug is from, and the glasses are from a set of items I got for being on the challenge design team. That let's see which one would show up the most if I put it right. I'm going to put that right there, and put the BrambleFox Ladybug right under Hello Sunshine. And let me get my glue, and I'm going to do something over in here too, but I'm not quite sure yet. We'll go through all the stickers and the fussy cutting opportunities in the kit once I get these things on. Okay, here I've got this going in this upward direction, and I might want to do the little glasses just inside there. Just going to put a little bit of glue on them. They don't need much to hold them, and I don't really want big globs, although there is one there. I have made even using a tiny, minuscule amount of glue on that narrow a surface, it's kind of made a glob on the paper. Okay, so there's that. Now I have this and this, which could go here, or I could do those two right there, and that right there. I guess I'll push that up so you can actually see what I'm talking about. So I've got this idea, and I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'll put a little liquid glue and just kind of, because I want to be able to move it around in case I'm not happy with the balance when I look at it on screen. So I don't want to lose the ladybug there, so I want it back down here, and I want it shorter than this little banner, although I like the banners kind of out at a little jaunty little angle there. Jaunty was one of John's favorite words. You're looking jaunty today. He'd say that to the kids, and the kids would look at their dad like, what is he saying? Okay, now let me pull my collection back up, and I'll pull stickers. One thing I noticed is that in the original, there's a little strip right here pointing down and right here pointing up of like scallops, and there's a scallop strip in the sticker sheet, so I'm going to see if I can use that. Also, there's some florals and some other kind of pretty things that I want to try to see if I can use. So let's play with the idea of scallops first. I'm going to put the butterflies. I'm going to say that I could possibly use a strip of this, maybe right next to there. Here, it could maybe go like right there. That would kind of work. Let me get it. And I'm going to kind of tuck it back up in there, so you're just getting the little choops of the scallops. Now, this one I'm going to use a little bit differently. I'm going to use it over by the photo. I don't know if I want it here or here, and maybe tucked in under that, like so. And so maybe I will cut it right here. Okay, I think that's gonna work. Whoops. All right, so I have a little bit here, a little bit there, slightly different places, and I could actually maybe use this over in here. Here. I hate to throw it away, so I'm gonna kind of clean up the curves, and I don't know that that was a good curve cut there. So I'm gonna cut this, and then we'll see where it best fits. I could use it here if I had another thing to use. Here, okay. I wanted to see if I could use this instead of like a floral cluster. There is a floral cluster that I'm going to use down here, but I kind of like this. And what I want to do is see where I can put it How about if I had it right here and put some foam behind it. Let's see what I got here. Okay. All right, I have some thick foam tape, and I'm gonna see if I can get it to support this. I think that's gonna work. I like that. Okay, now let's get this other floral, and I'm gonna put it on and I'm gonna have that. I don't want that. I don't want to cover up either one of those colors, but let's see. I'll move it over there. There we go. That works. And now I have some other bits and bobs that might be nice to use. There's this little sticker right here that says lovely, and I thought that might be nice at the bottom of the photo on top of and it uses a blue, which we don't have other than her little blue jeans and the little blue flowers here. Blue is kind of one of their occasional accent colors in this collection. So what have I got now that I wanted? I need my overlapping hearts, and what I'm looking for is to see if they've got any hearts. They've got a lot of ladybugs, but no hearts. I'm kind of liking the page the way it is, so let me just get a couple of BrambleFox hearts. What color do I want here? There's that, I have a tiny white one, and I have a pink. I'm not happy with my color selection there, so I'm gonna look at my some of my other hearts. I don't have a pure red, I don't have a pure black here, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take that blue color is kind of right here, and I'm gonna get there, and I'm gonna pick this yellow. Okay, so those are kind of the understory colors of this collection, and I believe I'm going to call this done. It doesn't have quite the rich texture of the paper layers, and I wish this profile was a little bit different, and I may actually trace around these butterflies with my trusty pen. I may bring the stencil back to do that if I can find where I did this. Let's see, if I did this, then I could kind of do this. I'm probably messing it up, but I do have my backup plan. This isn't as easy as it looks. I might have done better freehanding an outline. Okay, let's see. Okay, I like how that looks a little bit better, so I'm going to do it up here also. Not that one. I want to do this one. This is the one. And I'm not able to see what I'm doing as well on this. I need to get the shadow of my arm out of the way. Okay, there. I got some smoosh on the paper. Okay, I'm happy with the page, and I will have journaling about Katie. And happy birthday, baby girl. 23 looks great on you. This is, I couldn't even, I don't even want to begin telling you in what ways this girl is an absolutely fabulous human being that we should all be happy to share the planet with. She's amazing and beautiful inside and out. So I wish you happy birthday, KatieBug, and I thank you all for watching. Bye. Happy Scrap Squad Sunday.